Buenos días.
Good morning. Thank you, all the members of the press, for coming to this brief press conference.
For your commitment with Spain and your leadership in NATO, because in these very difficult and complex times, you've been leading the alliance, and you represent all of us, all the allies, and we're really grateful for your work and your leadership. And now I turn to Spanish. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much, Secretary General, for your leadership, for your commitment to Spain. And firstly, after this visit, my first visit to this venue, I would like to take the opportunity to congratulate the technical team, the NATO Secretary General's technical team, obviously also the technical teams of all the ministries of the Spanish government that are involved, also of the region of Madrid, the city of Madrid, and IFEMA itself, which has helped us with human and material resources to be successful at such an important summit. And without a doubt, also to the state security forces who are helping us to ensure something that's very important in this summit, undoubtedly security. And so my heartfelt thanks to all of you, to all public servants from NATO, from all other administrations. I'd like to thank you on behalf of Spanish society and the Spanish government for all your work during all these months to make this summit a success. This will be the first summit in the history of NATO with the largest number of heads of state and of government. We are also going to have the participation of the countries of the Indo-Pacific, New Zealand, Australia, South Korea, and Japan, who are going to participate tomorrow afternoon in a session to debate what the global challenges are and to have even closer cooperation. We will also have an informal dinner at the Prado Museum with the NATO allies and the EU member states. In short, I think the goal is clear. It's a very clear goal to convey a message of unity on the part of the allies, of unity even beyond the allies, the EU member states, the EU as a complementary organization to NATO, and also the countries in the Indo-Pacific, a message of unity, democracies coming together to defend democracy, to defend the values that unite us, freedom, political pluralism, respect for human rights, and also the defense of a rules-based international order. And when we talk about rules, we mean the United Nations Charter and, of course, the Washington Treaty, which defines this important alliance. For Spain, this summit is very important, firstly, because we will have the honor of the new strategic concept that will define NATO's work in the next 10 years to be called with the name of Spain's capital city, Madrid. So we are very grateful to the NATO Secretary General for choosing Spain for this summit. Secondly, because in addition to that new strategic concept, we are all waiting for the what happens with the talks of the Secretary General to enable the accession of two very important European countries, Finland and Sweden, to NATO. We wish the Secretary General every success, and we are convinced that if it's not now, it will be later, but eventually they will join the Atlantic Alliance. And thirdly, because we are incorporating into the strategic concept something that's very important for the south of Europe, which is the 360-degree strategy, the perspective that includes the southern flank as an element that we have to keep our eye on and that we have to focus on in forthcoming months, especially in the Sahel. What we're going to do in this summit is firstly define what threats we're going to face now in the present and in the future. Secondly, specify what resources we are going to make available to counter these threats and how we are going to address them. And thirdly, to consolidate an Atlantic alliance that after Putin's invasion of Ukraine has become even clearer how important its relevance today and in the future. And I would like to conclude, as I started, thanking the entire technical team of all the different administrations and of NATO for all their work during these past months. Lots of people won't see that work, but it's essential for the summit to be a success. Undoubtedly, I want to give my most heartfelt thanks to the media and to the state security forces, because they are guaranteeing the security of all of us. And once again, thank the Secretary General of NATO, Єнс Stoltenberg, for all his commitment and work. So you have the floor now, Єнс.
Thank you so much, Prime Minister Sanchez. Dear Pedro, it's great to be back in Madrid. Great to see you again, and thank you so much for welcoming me, my delegation, to this beautiful venue, to this place, which is actually magnificent and an ideal place to host a NATO summit. So also many, many thanks to you and to the government of Spain for hosting the NATO summit. This will be a transformative and very important summit, and you have provided the perfect, the best thinkable possible facilities for conducting this important NATO summit here in Madrid. I would also like to thank His Majesty for hosting the dinner tonight with all the allied leaders, heads of state and government, but also with our partners who will participate throughout the summit in different meetings and formats. And I would also like to thank all the technical staffs, both the Spanish technical staffs, but also in the NATO, who have now worked seamlessly together for many weeks, enabling this summit to take place. Then I would also like to thank you personally, Pedro, for your personal commitment to the transatlantic bond, to NATO, and to the importance of Europe and North America standing together. And also for the many contributions that Spain is making to our shared security, to our collective defense. Spain contributes to NATO missions activities in the Baltic countries, in Iraq. You host the NATO ships and the US ships at the Rota base, and you participate in many different missions and operations, and we are grateful for all of that. And this strong Spanish commitment to NATO is then demonstrated with the fact that you now are hosting the summit, and also actually that this happens the same year as you mark the 40th anniversary of Spain joining our alliance. The Madrid summit will be a pivotal summit. We will agree a new strategic concept, the Madrid strategic concept, that will be the blueprint for NATO in a more dangerous and unpredictable world. We will agree a fundamental shift to our deterrence and defense, with more high readiness forces, with more forward defense, with more pre-positioned equipment. We will agree a comprehensive assistance package to Ukraine to help them uphold the right for self-defense. It is extremely important that we are ready to continue to provide support because Ukraine now faces a brutality which we haven't seen in Europe since the Second World War. And then we hope to make progress on the accession of Finland and Sweden. And then, of course, we will also then state that to be able to defend in a more dangerous world, we also need to invest more in our defenses. So I really look forward to this historic summit in Madrid. Thank you so much once again, Pedro, Prime Minister Sánchez, for hosting us, and it's great to be here at this very well-organized venue for a well-organized and important historic summit of NATO.
Muchas gracias. Thank you, Єнс. Muchísimas gracias a los medios de comunicación.
Thank you.
Thank you once again for the media.